believe Nintendo did this to me. I had so many other videos planned for this week and next week that now all have to be pushed back because there's a Nintendo Direct. And not only that, this week is so busy because I have so many things going on adjusting to my new summer work schedule that this was the worst time for a Nintendo Direct. But we're still gonna talk about it because there's a gosh darn Nintendo Direct happening tomorrow. Hi everyone, my name is Alex, aka Coolity, and welcome back to the channel. So yes, a Nintendo Direct got announced for 10 a.m. tomorrow Eastern time and 7 a.m. Pacific time. And I knew in my heart that it was gonna happen this week. I really did. Everybody who kept bringing it up to me, I tried denying because I was just like, I can't have a Nintendo Direct this week. I know I can't. Especially because I know it's gonna be on Wednesday and it's gonna be while I am working. So that's unfortunate. But I figured let's do a quick, very chaotic video talking about some of my thoughts and predictions coming forward to this Nintendo Direct. Because for this one, I don't really know what to expect. I feel like I had a pretty good grasp on everything we were being shown for the last Nintendo Direct, and I got a lot of my predictions really right in that one. This is a little bit more of a mystery, and I think a lot of people are feeling that too. I think it's pretty evident that we're towards the end of the Switch's life cycle, and I can really say that with confidence now. So we're in this kind of weird in-between spot, because it doesn't feel like Nintendo is ready to announce a new console yet, but then what's happening? What's going on with the Switch? What can we expect for the rest of 2023? And I feel like this is a big Nintendo Direct for that reason exactly, is aside from Pikmin 4, we don't really know what else is coming this year. Speaking of Pikmin 4, obviously it was announced that it will be shown off at the Direct. That we can expect 100%. I haven't really been keeping up with any Pikmin information, not because I don't want to, just other games have my priority right now. But I'm excited for anything Pikmin that we could see. I have no idea what extra features they could show off, but I do feel like Pikmin 4 is probably going to be a big part of the Direct, only because that's the big thing that we know is coming first. It might even be the first announcement, just to get it out of the way. Who knows? But one thing that I don't know if I want to say we should expect this, but I think it makes a lot of sense, is Tears of the Kingdom DLC. Tears of the Kingdom has been out for over a month at this point in time, and it's really resonated with a lot of folks, and I feel like DLC would, of course, lend itself very, very well. When it came to Breath of the Wild, though, we knew about the DLC pretty early on. I don't know the exact timeline off the top of my head, so it does feel a little bit longer to know for sure that we're getting DLC for Tears of the Kingdom, but I think if they were to announce it, this would be the time to announce it. What that DLC would contain, I'm honestly not sure. I have not finished Tears of the Kingdom yet. I'm really close, but with how busy life has been and how much I'm just taking my time to get through the game, I'm not really in any rush, which is nice. It's nice to play a game leisurely and just enjoy everything. But yeah, so I'm pretty behind. So I don't really know what the DLC could entail, whether it has things like the Champions Ballad, where it's just extra information about some of those characters, like maybe we'll get more information on some of the new side characters that we were introduced to, or maybe more stuff involving the Zonai, who knows? But I would love to see some Tears of the Kingdom DLC. Any excuse to get me playing that game for even longer would be awesome. Now, another thing that I do think we will see tomorrow is the next wave of Mario Kart 8 DLC. It's time, we're ready for new tracks, and we only have 2 more packages left of it. I can't remember if it's 3 or 2, but regardless, it's time for some new courses, so I do think we will see that and a release date for the next wave of DLC as well. I think some other small things we can expect to see are an official announcement of the Baton Kaitos release date. They already posted a whole trailer for it, so I feel like that will be more than like a feature of the stinger reel towards the end. I do think we'll also get the official Persona 3 remake announcement that it's coming to Switch. It was leaked that it was coming to Switch, but every official source said it wasn't coming to Switch. But that same thing happened with Persona 5 Royal and Persona 4, so it makes sense that they're holding off until a Direct to announce that it's coming to Switch, just to have kind of an extra announcement. But I think those are 2 smaller, already known announcements that we could see tomorrow as well. Now, this next rumor I've seen a lot of on Twitter. I didn't really go that deep into trying to figure out where the leaks came from or where like this information came from, but one thing I've been seeing a lot of people talking about is a new HD 2D remake of an SNES game, which you know me, I'm all about the HD 2D stuff. I love it, and I love when classic RPGs get remade. Now, some of the games that I've been hearing might get this treatment range from Chrono Trigger, which is one that a lot of people are really hoping for. Genealogy of the Holy War, as we know, a remake of that game was leaked a while ago for Fire Emblem, which would be great, which would be absolutely great, but the main one that I am hoping for and will absolutely cry at if it is announced is a Super Mario RPG remake of some kind. It doesn't even have to be HD 2D, it doesn't have to be anything. It could be a port and I'll be happy. But a lot of people are saying that, and a lot of people are really hoping for it, and I hope maybe there's some basis to that. Super Mario RPG is one of my favorite games of all time, and I would just love to have it on Switch because it hasn't come to any console in a really, really long time through a virtual console or anything like that. It kind of is more of the, I don't want to say forgotten Mario RPG, but it doesn't have the same continuity as Paper Mario and the Mario and Luigi series. So bringing a classic that kind of set the path for those Mario RPG series would be fantastic. We also haven't gotten it on Nintendo Switch Online, which I think is ridiculous, to be honest. I don't know why, especially because of all of the not as great SNES games that we've gotten on Nintendo Switch Online. I'm assuming it's a licensing issue, which is why I'm scared that it's not going to be this, but I don't know, anything could happen, and that would be my absolute dream announcement for tomorrow. Of course, I'd be happy with Chrono Trigger, and I do think Genealogy of the Holy War is getting remade, but I don't necessarily know if this is the one that people are referring. Another rumor I've seen is a Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door remake. The same kind of deal that I'm worried about with Super Mario RPG are licensing as well as the creative aspect of Paper Mario. As we've known in the past few years, the Paper Mario games have kind of dwindled in quality, mainly because a lot of the creative decisions made by the team to keep everything in the Mario universe just as it is and not introduce any new characters. So it makes me worried that they wouldn't want to remake Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door because it goes against all of those new rules set for the series. But the original Paper Mario for the N64 is out on NSO, so maybe that's kind of giving way to say like, oh, Paper Mario could make itself to the Switch at some point in time. But whether or not it'll be a remake or GameCube games on NSO, who knows? Which brings us to that. I really don't know how I feel about it. I love it, and I think because we've had so many GameCube games ported over to the Switch, I don't know if NSO is the way they're going to deliver those games. It'd be great if they could, because I'm already paying for the service, and that would be wonderful. With Metroid Prime getting a full remake, as well as Super Mario Sunshine being a part of the 3D All-Stars pack, I don't know what their plan is for GameCube games. I certainly think that it would be a good idea to bring more GameCube games to the system, 100%, but in the way they're going to do it, I don't know. Would they want to take the risk by bringing some games over to NSO and probably making quite a bit less money doing so, or are they going to continue just doing remakes or remasters and porting them over that way? I don't know, but I feel like if Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door happens, I feel like that game is big enough where they would put it as its own separate release, but I'm honestly really skeptical about that one. I really, really am. I want it to happen. I love Thousand-Year Door, but I don't know. Now, another game that a lot of people are waiting for information on is the Dragon Quest III remake. It was announced how many years ago? I don't even remember, but it's been announced for a while and we have heard nothing about it. Nothing. Other than that, it's in development and that it's coming along and that information will be available eventually, but we don't know when. Same thing goes for Dragon Quest XII, but I do think that if anything were to be shown off first and to be shown off at a Nintendo Direct, it would be Dragon Quest III. I feel like when Dragon Quest XII is ready to be talked about, they're going to talk about it in its own separate thing as opposed to a Nintendo Direct. Now, I would love to hear more information about a Dragon Quest III remake, so I've been really excited for this remake. It looks like Dragon Quest III uses more of the HD 2D look that Live Alive used, where the colors are a bit brighter, things just pop out a lot more, rather than an Octopath where the tones are a lot more muted, which I think, depending on the game, is a really, really cool choice to make, and I think for Dragon Quest III, it makes a lot of sense to go with kind of the, you know, just brighter, slightly more colorful aspect. And I don't know, I wanted this remake for so long, and I think this direct would be a great time to announce it. We know that Square kind of likes to go hard with some of these directs, and I don't think it'd be far-fetched to think that they might not do it again. But in what way, that's the more curious thing. We also have Dragon Quest Monsters, which I believe was announced to be a Switch exclusive, so we might get more information on that as well. Now, this is another rumor I've been hearing about, which I'm really intrigued about, but people are really rooting for a new Mario baseball game. And listen, I'm all for the Mario sports games, but I guess I was never a big fan of the Mario baseball games growing up, so I don't have that nostalgic connection to it. But for me, it's more so looking at the Mario sports games we've gotten recently and how very lackluster they've ultimately been. I'm surprised people are rooting for it and are hoping that it's going to be super good. And don't get me wrong, I loved Mario Golf Superstar Rush. I thought it was really fun. I really enjoyed the story mode. But of the Mario sports games, that's kind of the one that I can talk about the most, and even then I didn't play it for very long after finishing the story mode because there just wasn't much of a drive to do so. Whereas I know Mario Tennis Aces was okay, it was okay, and the newer Mario Strikers game had a lot of problems involved with it, and it just totally fell off. So I don't know how a Mario baseball game is going to fare, especially given the track record of the previous Mario sports games. Now, it'd be cool to see, 100%, but I just don't really know how to feel about that one, if it's going to be something huge and like a cool and amazing announcement, just because given the track record of the Mario sports games. So I don't know, I'd love to see it and I hope it's good. I'm not super confident, I guess. Now, of course, people always like to ask this, are we gonna see Pokemon? I don't think we're gonna see Pokemon. I think any announcement Pokemon related is going to be saved for a Pokemon Presents. I know we still have plenty of time to receive information about the Pokemon DLC coming out in fall and winter, which is gonna be kind of the big Pokemon release this year, I think. I hope. Maybe. We'll see. You never know what to expect with Pokemon, and I feel like any other Pokemon related announcement is gonna be saved for that. So I don't think we're gonna see any Pokemon thing here unless it's extremely minimal or it's just a reminder like, hey, this DLC is coming. Because we haven't really heard anything else about the Scarlet and Violet DLC since it was really announced. So maybe, if anything, we'd get a reminder saying, hey, it's on its way. My unlikely wishes for what we're going to see, other than some of the other ones that I already kind of talked about. So first, I'd love to get any more information on the new Professor Layton game. I think that'd be really great. I don't know what kind of information we would get on it though, whether it's just a little bit more about the world and the mechanics and the character and the story. I don't know, but I also don't know if it's too soon to get that information, as that game probably isn't coming out until 2024. But who knows? That would be really, really nice to get some information about. I'd also love to see a new Fire Emblem game. Of course, as I said, I want the Genealogy of the Holy War remake to come out. I think it's great. We've known about it for so long, but I'd also love to see a brand new Fire Emblem game. And Fire Emblem might be on my brain just because I just wrapped up making my Fire Emblem Three Houses versus Engage video, which will be out sometime soon after all the Nintendo Direct hoopla. But I would love to see a brand new Fire Emblem game, maybe to round it out on the series, but it does also feel weird to get a third Fire Emblem game on the Switch when we know that kind of the end of the Switch is nigh, almost. So, I don't know, but that'd be a really, really nice one. Now, this final one is one that I want to see, but I also think a lot of other people want to see, and I just can't decide my feelings on it. A new Mario game to round off the Switch. I don't know if we're going to get it. I think it'd be great if we did, but I really don't know. Would it be Mario Odyssey 2? That's kind of more of what I think a lot of people are rooting for, or would it be something completely different? Now what I know a lot of people don't want is another entry into the new Super Mario Bros. Series. I think that would be a little much, and just, we don't really need it. We don't really need it on the Switch. But a new 3D Mario would be great, and again, I think it'd be a really nice way as a holiday release kind of deal. Announce it now, get the hype going for it, have a holiday release. But I just don't know what'll happen, and I don't know what it would entail. It could also be a game that they're saving as a launch title for whatever the next system would be. I don't know. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I feel so lost in what's going to happen with this Nintendo Direct. Usually I have an okay sense of what we're going to see, but this is one that I am truly stumped. I am truly stumped. Other than some of the things I've heard and some of the things I want, I don't know. It's gonna be a really, really big mystery tomorrow, I think. But I think that kind of wraps it up for my predictions and thoughts on what we might see. I am going to be reacting to the Direct. Unfortunately, it has to be a little bit later because I will be working while the Direct is going on. So I will be streaming over on my Twitch channel at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're gonna watch the Direct, react to it, all of that. And there's a very good chance that I might do a roundup video as well, kind of like how I did for the last Nintendo Direct. So stay tuned for all of that. But please let me know in the comments what your big Nintendo Direct hopes are and predictions are. I'd love to know because, again, I feel really in the dark and I feel like a lot of other people feel really in the dark on this one too. So let me know what you are hoping to see tomorrow as well. And if you like what I do here and you like what you see on the channel, then maybe consider liking this video and subscribing if you haven't already. I'd love to have you a part of this little YouTube family that we have created. But that'll do it for now. Until next time, everybody, goodbye!